We are live. This is the regular meeting of RFM, and today it's the 14th of November 2018, and it will probably be just the two of us, Joseph and myself, unless Mike Ono is going to join us maybe in a few minutes. Yeah, and who wants to start? Well, Joseph, I guess. Huh? You're the only one except myself in this meeting.
Okay, cool.
Had you any problems? Did you work on the components for the YouTube thing? Remember?
Yeah. So let me share my screen.
It always sounds as if you are in the big office, and Faith also. You're not by coincidence in Nairobi in the same office, are you?
Yeah, I am.
So you and Faith, you meet in person. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Nice. What's the name of the office? Is it some kind of co-working space?
Yeah, it's called Andela.
Andela. Ah, yeah. Andela. Faith told me about it. I have to check it up. Andela, Nairobi. Apps. Or maybe images, probably. Joseph, are you still there? You're muted.
Sorry, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's the website of Andela. I see it.
Yeah. So you can see my screen. I moved my. Okay, so let me open up. I was. So I was stuck on the CSS part. Yeah. So.
Oh, you want to blur the image?
Yeah. With this process, I have to open two new separate tabs. Windows, I have to open two separate tabs, one for backend and for frontend.
While we are already on it, did I tell you about the scope CSS for components in Ember?
What?
You are experienced in React, is that right?
Yeah.
Do React components have their own CSS styles?
Yeah, you can have CSS on a separate file, like custom, and also you can do styled components for React also.
Yeah, that was my question. So wouldn't it be better to have something like styled components?
Oh, in Ember.
I mean, if you would work in React, would you use styled components, for example?
Yeah, definitely, instead of writing.
Custom CSS. Yeah,
Yeah.
there is something for it in Ember. We didn't use it yet because I didn't know that this existed, but it makes so much sense. Let me give it a quick check. Ember component styles, maybe? I don't know. I can't remember the the name of it, or maybe even a component CSS. There was a plugin for this, I do remember. Ember. Component CSS. Ember component CSS. It was just that. It was the exact name. Yeah, this is it. Put it in the chat. So feel free to use that. We didn't install it yet, but that should give you styled components, which would be very nice, especially in your case.
Let me open the link. Copy.
Yeah, for example, you have these styles in your component file, and then the generated CSS would look like that.
Oh.
Do you think that's a good idea to use it? Does React work in the same way, first of all?
It's different. Cause I see like you're writing your own CSS yourself, or in like a .sass file. Yeah, you can do this. I think in any, even in plain. I've seen it being used in Nunjax, a JavaScript template engine, something like Django. So they use this class name syntax, yeah, so that it can be unique to a certain component, so you can reuse the same CSS. It doesn't leak outside if someone else has used like my component as a class. Yeah.
And how does React itself work? Like, does React have it by default?
Internally, no, I don't think so.
So you have to add also something to it.
Yeah,
I
you,
see.
yeah, you can add something to it, or if you want this hash, maybe use another thing. Or mostly people in React use the BEM. Sorry, there's a lot of noise here. I don't know if you
I
can
can hear
hear
you
me.
very well. I can hear you
Okay.
much better than last time.
Okay. It's because I remember that I'm using my headphones and my mic was way down. So yeah, it's up now. So there's the I think BEM.
Yeah, and do know BAM. It's like a naming
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. So mostly they will use that. Yeah, don't think this. Yeah, so there's that, but I don't know. I've never used a style like that in React. Some a component or something like this, a module that will generate you a unique hash. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you want to use styled components, you're free to use or free to install this component. Sorry, you're free to install this add-on.
Yeah, to change your um do you want me to use it?
Yeah, if you want to add custom CSS to the application, I would say so. Yeah, I wanted to add it anyways. So if
Yeah,
if
so I can
you're the
add it.
first person who's going to add CSS, then do it. You're not in the container, is that correct? Or you don't have Ember installed?
I need to use yarn. Are you using yarn
We use Yarn.
or npm? Yarn. Okay. cd frontend.
Yeah, maybe add it to the development dependencies.
Okay.
Yeah, it's better in general to use the Ember CLI because I think Ember has some custom, these Ember add-ins can make use of certain custom hooks, which you wouldn't
Oh,
have if you just run Yarn.
okay. But if it's installed, then maybe I would have used um maybe would have added it as a command on the package JSON for people who are not using why is it? Is it already? Yeah, it's already installed. So maybe we
It's
could.
fine. It should be okay now.
Yeah, we can add it. Can add it somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's in the Ember dev dependencies.
Yeah, actually, I would have
Ember.
done dot forward slash node modules node. Instead of that, now I can reference it inside but
You don't want to install Ember globally.
yeah, so I can do that. Um, is it Ember
Ember CLI
CLI?
probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, not that.
And
Ah,
then slash
I went
binary.
inside. Yeah, bin or easy. Yeah, forward slash bin forward slash Ember.
Oh yeah.
Ah, it's not here.
No. What? Okay, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Anyway,
I have installed Ember globally, and I'm using the Docker container where there's an Ember command.
yeah, because I see here in the packages when you're doing Ember, so I thought maybe I would find it. Maybe it's not in the CLI, maybe it's somewhere. Anyway, hope it won't affect anything. So what I have currently, it's I wasn't able even to finish the most part. I haven't worked on the, so I have like this
I think
pattern.
this looks nice.
Yeah, I'm supposed to add show Twitter and then like an image tag. Oh, sorry, I will rename this. This one wasn't for the Twitter. So this is for the YouTube, but I'm not passing any the like different.
Ah, so you want to place the button right over the image.
Yeah,
That's
and
also
then
interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So this will be an YouTube button, and the background image will be for YouTube.
I see. That's an interesting
Yeah,
idea. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
that
I'll
makes it
just
more. It makes it more noticeable to the user that you can actually click on something. Yeah, it's a good.
yeah,
I like that idea. That's a great idea.
yeah. So I don't know if I'll have an icon I like for Twitter.
Yes, there is an icon. You can.
Yeah, cause I saw they are broken, so I didn't know if even
Oh yeah,
when
they're
I
still
had
broken.
yeah.
Why
But
they
when
are
you
still?
click that, it
I don't
shows.
understand why they are broken.
Uh,
Strange. I have to look into that. It's really annoying. Yeah, but there is for both YouTube and Twitter. There are icons for it.
yeah. So even where I was kind of changing the CSS that you wrote, cause after now having to wrap the YouTube um iframe um on the components because Ember adds another wrapping div, so it messed the CSS up. So that's what I was working on,
I
trying to change.
see.
Yeah.
Does that come from the iframe?
You had your own CSS written here. This I think I changed them. There was somewhere the YouTube one. You had them. Okay, I can just let me first copy this instead. So you had let me copy that. Make sure I copy. Let me revert.
I think Daniel has just joined us. Hi,
Yeah.
Daniel.
So these are the CSS
Hello.
that you.
Welcome.
Thanks.
Have you recently joined Agile Ventures, Daniel?
Like 1 month ago, we spoke on Slack, I think, before I joined. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I was working. I was on my way to work at that time, so I couldn't never, join.
No problem, no problem at all. What's your handle on Slack?
DKUKU.
Yeah. I think I sent you DHRUV.
DKU.
DKUKU.
Yeah. DKUKU. I wonder why I
You were
cannot.
assigned to me before I before I
There we
joined.
go. Yeah, now I have the message again. You were learning with edX. Yeah, and you were on
No.
holiday.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, hello, Kukula.
Hello. They're laughing at me.
No, not at all. Yeah, we were just discussing a strange CSS thing on the landing page. So Joseph was showing me.
Yeah, so okay, let me revert this back so you can see because I changed that. Just a second. Come on. Oh yeah. Okay.
There we go.
So we were before we were just showing the. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't show an example. That we were showing the Twitter feeds here on the homepage without the even the user consent because I think the behavior that was before it was leaking some user data which was not good, something like that.
Yeah, just in general, if you have anything like an embedded like button or an embedded YouTube playlist, it will. This as soon as you load the page, there will be a request to certain trackers, and that is not very nice, especially if it's on the landing page where people just if they just type in the website and they get immediately on it. So in Germany, we take data privacy seriously. And it's better to ask the user for some kind of consent. For example, to let the user click before the first request is made to any kind of tracker backend or whatever. So if you use Ghosteries, I'm using, for example, this browser plugin that lists all and blocks all trackers. Then I can see that when I have YouTube on the landing page, then I send a request to a service called DoubleClick. All right.
I don't think you can see your screen.
No, I just explained it in words.
Oh,
I can
okay.
also show you my screen if you want. But Daniel, do you get the point with these trackers?
Yeah. So you turn it on. You want to use it like I had extension flash block, so you have to click flash what's on the page, then it started. It wasn't starting in auto mode. So
Yes.
so,
I don't know. Yeah,
so
probably there's probably there's something like that. And yeah, I guess I have never used that plugin that you're talking about, but it sounds very, very
it
similar.
was years ago when it was popular.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you see the problem here, and that was what Joseph was working on.
Yeah. So before, if we go to RF, RFM,
That's our website. Let me.
yeah. So immediately when this YouTube iframe loads, um, it adds some ads and it sends the user data somewhere.
To double click.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So now we want to add another component that blurs the YouTube video, and then when you decide to click on it, now it renders the main YouTube iframe.
Exactly. Then
So
it
like
would
what
send
we have.
the
Yeah.
request, but I think that's fine because the user asked for
Yeah.
showing the data, showing the video,
Oh.
and then it's okay to just to let the user send the data.
Yeah. So before it was just for Twitter it was a plain um, show Twitter feed button. So when you click on that, the Twitter
The iPhone will start, but the
yeah,
Twitter button is so tiny that people hardly ever notice it.
yeah. So
We want
that's
to
why
make it a little bit more apparent.
yeah. So we changed. We had a blurred image background. Um, so it's when you click now the button, at least the user can know what's going to be displayed here.
Yeah,
Um,
I think I
so
like that solution. Daniel, what do you think about that? This,
yeah, it's nice, but you add this blur, but it has to make a request before, because the tweet that's some live tweets. Yeah.
no,
So
yeah,
these are
this
no
is
live.
just
It's just an
yeah.
image.
This is just a static image. Now when we click now,
okay,
it's when it's going to
you're thinking
get
one of them is
No, the image is static, and
yeah,
the Twitter feed, which is going to be loaded, is totally different.
yeah.
okay.
So as I was working on that, so this was almost done. Sorry. The only part is just adding this Twitter icon over here, and then now the problem was for YouTube now. Even before I went to change the background image, the CSS were not. Um, it's not that good. This needs to be on top of this
Yeah,
iframe, and then this needs to be bigger somewhere, right? Yeah. So now this is on the side and this is on the other side.
I
So it
see.
needs to be a column. This needs to go on top, and yeah.
But do you need help in that? I think you
Yeah.
just added the CSS class at the wrong position.
So this is actually this I'm going to change because you see I'm getting the CSS from the. This is hard coded, so I need it to be dynamic. So I think I'll apply this on the front end somewhere. Yeah, somewhere here. Or actually I don't. I can do that, or I can have. Where is the CSS? So I can have this and maybe I call it, but that will be, I'll have duplicate. I can have this, and then another one call it this I call it Twitter, and then another one I call it YouTube.
Why do you need the difference? Just because of the background image?
Yeah, or I can just add the background image
Maybe you
using
can.
logic. Yeah.
Isn't it possible to add the image as a property to the component?
Or add another class.
I don't know how to do that in Ember. So like in JavaScript, not JavaScript.
Yeah, so for example, if you go on the index
you can
page, I
do
think there's an image already.
like style equals, and
No,
then
no, no, you don't need that. You don't need that. You can just
Okay.
use, so yeah, like that. There's image, img, and then you can replace source with a URL, like an image URL. And this you can pass to the component.
But this is the image itself.
This is the image itself, but if you, for example, scroll down to this component, show Twitter, YouTube, yeah, you can give it an image URL next to message. You're on line number 311. So Daniel, RFM is, which is by the way pronounced Rundfunk mitbestimmen, is using Ember.js as the front-end framework. Have you heard about it?
Yeah, but I haven't used it. So I know React.
Okay, well, if you know React, then you will find it very similar. Ember is also, it's a front-end framework for single-page apps, and the template language is called handlebars. So what you see right here, these .hbs files are handlebar files, and you can pass properties in handlebars with the equal sign syntax. So if Joseph, could you please go back to index once more? Just show us the index HBS file. There on line number 311, we have this hashtag symbol, which is indicating a component, the name of the component, show Twitter, YouTube. And then you have two properties, image URL and message.
And you pass it like props in React, yeah?
Yes, it's exactly the same thing. And you don't even need the parentheses for image URL. You can just add just a string to it, like the URL, the same URL that you had from the CSS file.
This is the part for, okay, this one renders Twitter, so I can pass. Oh, and I need, I had to post it because I didn't know where to, I didn't look at the files, assets folder. I couldn't, I don't know where actually, oh yeah, here, so I wanted to put it somewhere here, but
Yeah,
now
you can do that.
yeah, I'll download it. Okay, I can do it now, actually.
Yeah, you can, for example, just take that image URL. We can also just use it. If it's already online somewhere, you can just use it.
It's online somewhere.
Then you copy paste that.
I uploaded it to image grew or this.
It's fine for development.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, so you're saying I don't need this part?
No.
I'll remove this. Because that was the background for. Okay, now I can add it here. Then I'll
and maybe use, I don't know if it's now complaining about single quotes, but I think that should be fine. But this is how you pass the image URL to this component, and inside this component show Twitter, YouTube, you would then use this property. Exactly. That's fine. Now we just passed the image URL into the component. Now we have access to the to the image file. So we can now say image, as we had on the index file, image, and then source, and then we say yeah, and I think you can just use the curly braces and then image URL. That should do it. Exactly.
If I save that,
Apparently it's not rendered. Maybe you want to inspect the component, so right-click on...
it hasn't finished the request, so I think...
Yeah, but I think we should see something now. Yeah, maybe you click with right-click inspect on the component, just to see what is actually rendered.
it's working now, but it's broken.
Yeah, now it's broken. So I guess the URL is just wrong. Maybe you just right-click in the component to check if the URL is actually there. Yeah.
Okay, I can do components. Can come to this one.
You can also inspect the actual HTML that's rendered in this place. So you can just say elements, you switch to the tab elements, and right-click into this component, and then you jump in there. So you see the image URL is not replaced. I think we did a mistake. Maybe you placed, you put quotation marks around the curly braces.
I think I need 2 of them.
Oh, there were just one. Okay. Now it's a syntax error. There is just one.
Yeah, but it's 2 now. Taking like a minute to update, so...
Yeah, I think I would probably put 2 quotation marks around the curly braces. But yeah, I mean, that works.
Yeah, but the CSS now is broken, I think.
Yeah, but this is much better because you can customize a component. You just give it an image URL and the component will do the rest for you.
Yeah.
Right? Does it make sense, Daniel?
Yeah.
Could you follow? And we have a new attendant, which is Mike. Mike, hello.
Hi guys.
How are you?
Hey.
Fine.
Great.
Yeah, how is it going here?
How is it going? We were discussing the consent component of Joseph. Joseph wanted to work on a component that shows you a blurred image and a button. And if you click on that button, it will render an iframe or anything that you place in the component. So you can, for example, have this YouTube video, or you have the Twitter feed, and you have to click first before you actually send any data, before you request any data. It's for data privacy. So whenever you have this YouTube playlist or this Twitter feed or a Facebook-like button, there's always a request made if you just visit the website. And for data privacy, we don't want to let all our users send their data to YouTube or Twitter or whatever. Does it make sense, Mike?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And the simple solution is, have this one button and have a preview image in the background. And if you click on the button, the user wanted to see the YouTube video, and then you send the data. Or you send the request, and then it will render the iframe. All right?
Yes, nice. I think we had discussed this maybe last week.
Yeah.
Just didn't see the implementation, but yeah.
Yeah. I think we covered it last week. That's right. We had the discussion with the Ember Truth helpers. Okay, but is everything so far so good, Joseph? Does this help you in some way?
Yeah, I'll have to fix now the CSS, and then it will be good to go. Because now it's the image, the zoom, it's a bit far.
You can also check out Semantic UI and see the CSS classes for images. If you go on Semantic UI, that's our CSS framework.
Oh, me.
Yeah, you. Semantic UI. Semantic, well, you will find it.
Oh, right. For Ember, do they have a specific one?
Yeah, they have a specific one, but you don't need it. The documentation is just the same. There's an Ember wrapper, and there's the CSS framework. So this one is the Ember wrapper, but they also have the ordinary the ordinary Semantic UI docs. This is also the Ember wrapper. That's the GitHub page of Semantic UI. Just type in Semantic UI, you should find it. Yeah. And then you have the docs or getting started page, I don't know. And there is the menu on the left side, and you can check out the buttons and the images. Exactly. So they have images, and they can, for example, say how big those images should be. Yeah, I'm a little lazy to write CSS, so I'm using the CSS framework, and I try to stick to it as much as I can.
Ah, nice. Okay, I'll look into it because this is like pretty much done. That's there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the icons also come from Semantic UI. And if you're already checking out Semantic UI, maybe you can have a look why those icons are still broken.
Yeah. So I'll just need to add this button, and this one I need to add the tweet icon. Cool. Okay.
All right. So I would say, unless you have any questions, Joseph,
Nope.
Let's go to the next person. Mike or Daniel, do you want to start?
Start what?
So we have a round robin procedure on our regular meetings. And so, for example, let's start with you then. You're very new to this project. And so I would ask you, do you know what the application is about, for example?
Sorry, can you repeat my...
Do you know what the application is about?
Yeah, it's about splitting the money you pay in Germany on TV license.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's what I read about.
Exactly. It's not only TV, it's also radio and online broadcast. So every German home has to pay for media, for public media. The public media is required because it should inform the people, right? So we need a reliable source of information, right? It has to do something with freedom of the press, and therefore we have these publicly funded media corporations. They are neither private companies nor state-run companies, right? So they're different, and but every home has to finance them, and there's no public feedback. And the idea of this application is to create some kind of public feedback so they can improve the program which will also benefit all the payers. All right. And so Daniel, what's your background? What is your interest in this project?
I don't know. I haven't seen that, so I've joined this. I'm thinking to move to Germany as well, so I might use it sometime.
And what's the country that you're living in right now?
I'm Polish, but I'm living in UK now.
I see.
Yeah, but I want to find a job as a developer, and I have problems here. So I don't know if in Germany it would be easier. But
so
yeah, I've got a
in general, it is. So you're living in the UK right now?
Yeah.
What city?
Near Birmingham. It's Dudley. It's in the middle. I was living in London, but I moved out of there. It's too expensive.
Yeah, London is quite expensive. So you're living next to Birmingham and you want to move to Germany. So I can tell you from my experience, it's super easy to find a job as a developer, not only in Germany.
Yeah, but
super easy.
I don't have much experience, so it's harder for me, much harder.
Yeah, but that's also no problem, because everything you need to have in order to become a good developer is you need to have fun, right? It's not becoming a good developer has nothing to do with being a genius. It's more about learning a lot, right? You spend a lot of time learning many things, and I think it's actually pretty understandable and achievable as long as you have fun with what you do. Because if you have fun with what you do, you're motivated to continue on and have some progress. And you did the right decision. You joined an online learner community where you can work for real projects, and those that are open source, like they work on open source source code, right? And that's excellent. That's the best CV that you can have, right? So if you can show that you work for this and that application, which was open source, then this is perfect for finding, for example, first of all, having some experience, finding a job, proving that you learned something, and so on and so on, right? And you're doing a good thing on the side. Right?
Yeah.
So
I know. Yeah, I'm quite happy because I found Agile Ventures. I didn't know about this. I'm trying to learn like for a couple of years, but
how did you find out? How did you find out about Agile Ventures?
On edX, like on this Ruby on Rails course. But anyway, you should speak with someone from Free Code Camp or something like that, because they are quite popular and lots of people got them on Twitter, and it would be a good thing to join forces, maybe.
I see. Yeah. So you're suggesting that that Agile Ventures and Free Code Camp should work closely together?
Maybe not that closely, but so from one article or a couple of articles on Free Code Camp, Medium or Twitter. So yeah, because last year I found how it's called, open classrooms. I don't know if you heard about that.
No.
It's an online school, and they give you it's like 300 euros or 300 pounds in my case a month, but you got a mentor and you got projects to do, and after that you get a degree. Yeah, so I've done this. It was for a year. I've done it around 6 months, but I spent quite some money on that. I think that it was good spent money, But anyway, I need something after that. And Agile Venture is is perfect because there I had this mentor, but it was a meeting once a week, and most of the time I was working alone on the project. So
Yeah. It's not. Yeah, it's better if you can work on a project together with people, because then you will also learn team
and
skills.
the best thing what I found about Agile Ventures, because you use like GitHub, Waffle or Pivotal Tracker, so tools which people use in real life. So it helped me a lot with that.
All right, so maybe let's do the checklist. Do you know what Git is, Daniel?
Yeah.
GitHub?
Yeah, I know. I've done some PRs for the last month to Website 1 and Met Plus. So
Have you seen Travis Ui?
yeah.
Did you write a software test already?
Yes. Last month I went through 2 books, one about Cucumber, the other about RSpec. So yeah, I'm lacking with testing, so I never learned it before, because any course I do online, I've done, but none of them, it's really about testing. When you learn about React, you got some maybe or maybe not, but the testing is somewhere one chapter, and it's really short. And testing is one of the most important things you have to learn.
Absolutely,
So,
I totally agree. And have you used Docker before?
yes, not much, but I use Linux for long time, so Docker is something normal to me. Yeah, write a Docker file and
yeah. So you have used Docker before.
Yeah,
because you said React and Rails. So basically, you will find yourself in a perfect environment here, because first of all, we are all open source. We are using a modern web application stack that is Ember.js and Rails. We Dockerized all our services. We make a lot of use of test-driven development. So we have not only Cucumber tests, but also RSpec tests and front-end tests for Ember.
And how the Ember.js works with Rails, because what I found, React is not really good. It's hard to write something in React which works with Rails. The easiest way for me to do this was to write separate backend and separate frontend, so like 2 applications, not using
exactly
templating.
And that's it. That's how it works. So Ember.js is a single-page framework which was developed by Rails core members. So some people from the Rails core team started to implement Ember.js back in 2013. I can't quite remember. And if you have this modern stack, you usually have 2 different applications. One application which is running on the server, in our case Rails, and one application which is running on the front end, in our case Ember.js. And they both communicate with a common interface, in our case the Json API. And Joseph can maybe show you an example for the Json API. For example, if you just reload the page.
I know how it works. I wrote something in React and Rails, and I've used JSON for that because it was the easiest way for me.
JSON, but the JSON API is actually really a standard, and it's very often used in Ember.js applications. So if you go, for example, on if you inspect the network traffic on the network tab, then you see how the result looks like. If you now refresh the page, then you have the API request. There should be the data for the statistics. Just look for XHR request. Yeah. And there you have summarize statistics. And if you click on that, summarize statistics. Yeah. Then you have the preview. You should have there something. This is how it looks like. So you have, first of all, a data attribute, and then you have attributes. Then you have this type. So the type summarize statistics corresponds to the name of a model, which is known to the Ember front end. And then there's some magic, which synchronizes the data in your local storage on the front end, on the browser, with the backend.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
super cool, because you just have to say, okay, save, and Ember does the rest. And then it's
okay.
it's
Yeah,
got
that's
saved
right.
to rest.
So it's like in Meteor or Apollo.
I have used Meteor. I have used Meteor before, but that was back in 2016, and I was considering to use Meteor.js as the technology stack for RFM, and I decided against it. I spent 2 months working with Meteor.js, implementing a prototype, and suddenly I decided, okay, I don't want to use Meteor.js for a couple of reasons. So first of all, Meteor.js at that time, I don't know how the situation is today, but back in 2016, Meteor.js had to use the Mongo database. And it doesn't, the MongoDB doesn't make any sense at all in such an application, because we are running statistics, we're doing ordinary stuff that you would do with a relational database, and we want to use Postgres for that.
I mean, because Meteor uses this mini Mongo, so you can, query the data which you got, and it synchronizes it.
Yeah. And Meteor.js also was at the time very monolithic. I hope that has changed until now. So there was.
I think they're moving away, because the same team, they're making now Apollo client. So I don't know. People are probably moving away from Meteor to Apollo, because I think GraphQL, it's it makes more sense about the byte that you can,
Yeah, I do know GraphQL.
Sorry?
Yeah, I know GraphQL. Also, GraphQL has its advantages and disadvantages. If you have a lot of requests to the backend, it makes total sense to use GraphQL, because you have one request and you get all the data back. However, if you want to write into the database, it can become tricky. Apollo, by the way, is not comparable to Meteor.js. Meteor.js is a full stack technology, which gives you the database, the server, the frontend, and everything, even the frontend templating language. While Apollo is a backend and frontend client for GraphQL, and that's it. It doesn't requires you to, for example, use Ember or React or Vue or whatever. That's up to you. Neither does it require you to use any kind of server technology. So Meteor.js is bigger than Apollo.
Yeah, no. It's like 1.5 gig when you want to, set up a project on your empty.
Joseph is leaving us. Goodbye, Joseph. No problem.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, we have to keep this meeting short. I would like to stop chatting and start with continue with Mike maybe, and maybe at the end of the meeting, if we have time, I can, for example, ask you, Daniel, or help you in setting up the local development environment. What do you think?
I might do it myself, because I'm at work at the time, and I'm using my phone for the internet, so not really. But if there is a manual how to do this, I can do this.
Yes. You have our README, and it's on the GitHub page, and it should be easy to follow. There are two ways how to install the application, with Docker and without Docker, and it should be pretty easy to set up now, because a lot of people have tried to use it. If you find any error, or if you find anything that is not as clear as it should be, then please ask, because the README has to be improved in that case, which could be a nice contribution, by the way.
Okay.
Right? Apart from that, welcome to RFM, because you will learn a lot, especially if you're interested in software testing. And software testing is so much necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Ember.js, for example, does a great job at doing software testing. This is something I really miss from the other frameworks like React or Vue. They kind of neglect software testing, which I think is the worst thing that you can do. Also, Ember.js has strong conventions, and the other frameworks don't. It can have advantages not to have strong conventions, because you can configure everything how you need it. On the other hand, in Ember, there's the one Ember way of doing things. And this is much better if you have an open source project like RFM, because people come in and get out, and the solution will last much longer than anything that you configured very heavily according to your needs, because people who come into the project will not know about it. While if they know a little bit about Ember, they will feel very at home as soon as they join the project. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so this project is running since 2016, and it was never a big maintenance issue there or anything like that. So it's running and running and running, and I'm very happy with Ember.js by now. I don't think that would be the case with any other framework out there, because it's because of incompatibilities or anything that you do as a developer, which turned out not as a nice solution. In Ember, there's just the Ember way how you would do things, which I like, because I'm also a Rails developer, and I'm coming from the Rails background, and I like conventions. All right. You have any questions so far, Daniel?
No. I have to go through the issues on GitHub. Maybe I will find something for me and try to. Something easy.
For example, actually, there's something that comes to my mind right now. If you're done with the local setup, so local setup is the first thing that you should do. And as soon as you are done with the local setup, then I would ask you to implement this feature here, or this bug fix, because that's a great way of learning both Ember and Rails. You're already familiar with Rails, I guess, and this bug will teach you how everything works, like how both frameworks go together. All right.
All right.
All right. Cool. Mike,
I will look on it.
How about you? Is everything good on your side? Have you seen? I've merged your pull request with the seed data.
Oh, nice. I had not seen that.
Yeah, it's merged already.
Yeah, I was thinking of making it better though. I think I will just create another PR for that.
Yeah, you can definitely create better seed data, but also you can try to get a step on the D3 refactoring. May you remember?
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was
the bubble chart thing. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of as well. So yeah, I think that's something that I I was thinking of doing, but I think this week I haven't had enough time because
Yeah,
of,
no problem.
yeah, we are having this sprint with NHS Wiki.
Yeah, I know. There have been a lot of sprints the last weeks.
Yeah, we're trying to force one RFM sprint very soon, but
Yeah. By the way, Daniel, that's also a nice thing for you to learn. Have you heard about D3?
D3, yeah, it's the visualization library.
Yes, exactly. It's an advanced visualization library, and it's very asked for in all, for example, data scientists or data journalists. They are very asked for this knowledge. It's very crucial to have it. It's like the visualization library out there. You can do everything with it. And we are also using it for RFM. We are using two libraries. One is called High Charts. It's for the very easy charts, like just a line chart or a bar chart or whatever. Everything that's very, very usual. And for everything else, we use D3. So for example, we have a force-directed graph visualization. I don't know if you have seen it. I can give you the link. But that was, for example, implemented with D3. Give me 1 minute.
Okay.
There you go. Come on. Here's the link. And that's also very interesting. Also, might be for you, or maybe you and Mike, you can both pair together. The last issue that I sent to you in the chat is about a refactoring. So the behavior should not change, but we can save some lines of code. We are using a custom legend for a diagram, and we can get rid of that because we can use a plugin for it, and we don't have to implement it ourselves. That would be the issue that issue number 786, I guess. If you're interested in do that kind of thing, feel free to check that out. Or maybe ask Mike, because Mike is also interested in that issue. And you can work, for example, work together, pair program on it, and so on.
Okay, I have to first set it up. And yeah, I will I will look on this.
Yeah, and don't
this looks interesting because
yeah, everything
yeah,
everything looks interesting. Don't but there's no pressure, by the way, right? So I'm just giving you suggestions. It's totally up to you if
yeah, sure.
if you want to try it out. It's just something that comes to my mind. Hey, there's this new member. What would be what might be interesting for him? So from my understanding, you are very new to all frameworks, but you're learning very fast. So you want to learn like as much as you can, right? And you're not coming from, you don't have a particular background in any framework. Like sometimes you have new members who have a background in JavaScript. So for example, Joseph, he has a JavaScript background. Or we have other people who have a Rails background. For example, I have a Rails background. But you are basically new to all the frameworks and you just want to learn everything.
Yeah. I want to focus. Sorry.
Yeah, don't worry. You can answer the phone. No problem.
Hello. Hi.
Maybe I can mute you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you muted yourself. Perfect. All right, Mike.
Yeah, so I think I'll work on this one maybe and push whatever I have the earliest I have it, because I remember last time it took so long to push something.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, yeah, because I think it's easier when guys see whatever you're doing and then they correct you earlier on. I think I had not gotten that synced into me.
Yeah, that's also something to share. Daniel, you have been on the phone. Mike just said it's the best is to send early pull requests. So if you work on a feature or if you work on a bug fix, try to send a work in progress pull request as early as possible, so we can give you early feedback. Don't send the pull request when you're done. Send the pull request when you're not yet done.
All right. Yeah, we'll do that.
But first, just do the local setup and then tell us if you've run into any problems or if you face anything serious. All right?
Yeah.
All right.
Do you have any more questions, for example, regarding the purpose of the app, regarding our schedule, regarding the learning scheme, regarding the frameworks, regarding software testing, or anything, or regarding me or anybody else?
I wanted to join, earlier, but I couldn't because of my work pattern. Now I can. I've changed my work pattern a bit, so hopefully, yeah, I will be here every week.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
So,
by the way, I think every one of us has his or her main occupation. So, for example, I'm a software developer myself, and I do RFM in my free time, and I have the same problem. So don't worry about it.
All
right?
All right. All right. I don't have any questions. It will pop up during setup.
Right. Cool. Nice. And you can always ask for pair programming. You know what a pair programming is, Daniel?
Yeah. Right. So on this pair programming channel on Slack, yeah?
Yeah, for example, you would go into a Rundfunk mitbestimmen Slack channel, and then you type in, hey, Mike Eono, for example, you want to pair with me on this or that feature? And then you can organize a hangout, and you can share your screen and work together.
All right.
Okay, cool. Mike, do you have any more questions? I think we are here since an hour and 20 minutes. So I would, for example, say let's close this meeting unless you have more questions.
There's nothing from me today.
Say it again.
There's nothing from Robert today.
Oh yeah, there's something from me. We have a couple of pull requests with breaking changes. So I was working today on merging those, and I had difficulties to run them. It took a while on my machine. So I can share my screen if you want, show you what I was doing. So when I'm testing breaking changes here, right? So we have Dependabot, and we have a couple of pull requests by this bot, and we have breaking changes here. So whenever the semantic versioning jumps from 1 to 2, the first digit here, this would be a breaking change. There's a breaking change. Well, this is not a breaking change, but this has to be tested.
What's a breaking change?
A breaking change is something. Okay, semantic versioning. Here's your lesson for today. Semantic versioning means that you have usually these three spaces, three component system, X, Y, Z, and X is a major version, Y is a minor version, and Z is a patch version. Whenever there's a change in the patch version, there should be there should be no big deal. So it should be safe to update the patch version. But it will definitely not be safe to update the major version. All right. So that is a major version update, right? It's going from 1.1 to 2.0. All right. And you can see breaking changes here, and they are dropping, for example, the support of a particular node version, right? And before I want to merge that into the master branch, I wanted to try it out locally on my machine. I did that with a couple of pull requests already. but it took me a while to run it in the Docker environment. So first of all, did you understand the semantic versioning scheme?
Yes. So we have the major, minor, then the patch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I often, for example, also do this here. Semantic version, Semver.
Yeah, I was almost asking what your search engine is.
Yeah, I'm using Crx. This is self-hostable search engine, Crx, GitHub. Yeah, I think I misconfigured it. So this is not what I expect. I misconfigured my search engine. That's why I don't see many results. But Crx is actually very interesting. So it's like a meta search engine. It's also on GitHub, and it's a meta search engine. You can have multiple search engines. So for example, you can say running instances, and I think I'm using Crx.de. So here are the running instances. Can you see it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a couple of servers, and there you can send. So I don't know why Google, DuckDuckGo, save. What happens if I search now for Crx GitHub? At least I should see the GitHub repository. No. I think I've misconfigured it. I should see at least the GitHub repository. This GitHub repository here. No, this GitHub repository. Or is it there? ASCII something? No. Anyways. Yeah, it's also for data privacy. I'm not sending any data to Google when I use the search engine. Blah, 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 blah. So where was I? The version calculator. That's also very nice. So here you can see what the different symbols in your package JSON mean. So you can, for example, search for a particular package and then say, for example, everything bigger than 0.5. And there's all the versions that I have. And it will pick 2.0 now. There's this caret syntax, or there's also tilde syntax, I think. Yeah, you can learn about it. This is the explanation of it. And Dependabot is sending us regular pull requests. And I just wanted to check out the breaking changes, see if anything breaks. I mean, we have our tests, but nevertheless, I would be glad to see what is going on here. And it just took me like hours today to go through the pull requests, and I am not done yet. Pro tip, Daniel, do you want to use the Docker setup?
I don't know what you think. What should I use? Now with Docker, you don't have colors in the terminal. I see you using i3.
Yes.
Yeah, I use it as well.
Yeah. If you want to use Docker and you have and somebody updates the packages, like Dependabot updates a particular node package, then
You have to read it.
you want to remove the volumes, right? So you say, before you say up, you say down -v, that will remove the volumes, that will stop all containers, remove the volumes. Also this volume here, can you see it?
Yeah.
Node modules, right? So this is a volume. And it might be that you have remaining packages there. So you just say docker down -v, that will remove those volumes, and then you say docker up. And maybe you want to rebuild the images, and that should give you a fresh state of one particular branch, for example. Does it make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
From my side, so semantic versioning, how to remove volumes with Docker Compose, and what about Cirx? Right. Are you happy, Mike?
Yeah. Semantic versioning.
Yeah, it's very, semantic versioning is the way of writing versions of software. I don't know any software library that's not using semantic versioning. I do know that browsers have strange versioning pattern. So I think Chrome is just updating all the time, has major updates all the time. I don't know. What's my current Chromium browser version? Let me see. Yeah, version 70. So they update their version quite often, their major version. But this is not a software library. It's an end user software which is not included in any other application as a dependency. So they can basically do whatever they want. Software libraries all use semantic versioning. All right. Any more questions?
No.
Cool. Then I would say, unless we schedule a pair programming, you can also ask me, Daniel, for pair programming, and I will try my best to find time to help you, or anybody else. Mike, you can also ask everybody else in the Slack channel. Unless we have pair programming with each other, we'll see each other on next Wednesday, right?
Yes, Wednesday.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. It was a pleasure.
Nice, thanks.
You're welcome. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.